2, 1. You're on.
Hello. I can't see Lauren.
Well, you're gonna see her right now.
Where's my sister? There you are. Hi.
Hello. Hey, Lisa.
Hi. I missed that kitchen. It's been so long since I was there.
I know, I miss you being in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well,
hello.
knows.
Hopefully we've got some folks joining us. If not, they can watch the video later.
Okay. So I'm Lauren from Well Elephants.
And I'm
Lisa.
Lisa Rice Lifestyle. And Lauren and I decided, we just launched our podcast, Age Like a Badass Mother. If you haven't seen it and subscribed yet, please do. And we absolutely love doing it. We love hanging out together. We love chatting. So we're living the dream right now. We're doing our podcast and we decided, well, then why aren't we just cooking together more? Because we love doing that too, right?
Yeah.
And do people always ask you, what do you eat every day?
Yeah. And it's so boring because, I cook on Chef AJ's channel once a month and I'm always, I make something that I think is going to be really yummy.
Yeah.
I do plant-based classics, so I try to take something that, I used to love in my former life and make it plant-based. But I don't do that every day. I literally probably eat the same thing over and over and over with some variation.
I mean, if you think about it, I think most people do. And I think they think that when they're switching to a whole food plant-based diet or going vegan, that all of a sudden they've got to change every meal. And then you set yourself up for failure, right? If you just keep it simple, think about what you like to eat. Like, what do you eat in repetition? And then make a plant-based version and just put that in repetition. I mean, same here. Like, I pretty much eat the same thing every day, except if I'm having friends over, I might make a lasagna. Or, if our son is coming to visit, I might make, some kind of dish that he loves. But you're right. Like, we do kind of eat the same stuff all the time, right?
Yeah. And I call it home base, my main meal. And it's just like, I'm going to make it. Everything's really already made. That's the thing. I have everything made, like quinoa. It's a grain, so I either have generally brown rice, quinoa, farro, some kind of okra, some kind of grain, and then a legume. Usually I make a big pot of beans. I didn't have a pot of beans, so I just opened up a can of kidney beans already. I ate half the can. Here's the other half of the kidney beans. And then I made some tofu. Sometimes I make like a sweet potato or some tempeh, but made some tofu. I just, drained the water out of it. It's extra firm. Cut it into cubes, and then I just tossed it in some Bragg liquid amino and threw it in the air fryer for 15 minutes at 400. I have some beets. I do not love beets. I get the kind that have already been peeled and steamed. I don't love them, but I eat them because they're really good for you. And I make a face every time I eat them.
Well, you actually taught me that trick. I love beets, but you taught me that trick of cooking them in orange juice to get the earthiness out of them.
Yes, and I do that sometimes. But these are just ones I got from Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Those
are good. Yeah, they're so easy. Yeah,
they're easy.
So easy.
And better easy and in my.
I know you've got a green. I know you've got some greens somewhere there too. I know you have your greens every day. Yay!
Yes. My shredded kale. I have broccoli. I just finished Brussels sprouts at lunch. They're gone. But I have my coleslaw mix, and I just throw in everything in like a little pot. And this is what I do. Like, I just have this little tiny pot. I poured a little water so that you can see I barely put any water in this pot. I'm not even using all of that. Like I can't even say a quarter inch. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit of water in the bottom.
Uh-oh.
And then
David.
I just throw in my...
David. Oh, sorry, you just went away. Did you hear me screaming for David?
Yeah. I went away?
Yeah, the screen just went completely black.
Oh, no. Okay, but it's good now?
Oh, yeah.
So I was saying I barely put any water in the bottom. I just poured I don't know, nothing. Just to coat the bottom. And then I'll throw my quinoa in there, and it just reabsorbs that water. And
Oh, so your quinoa's already cooked.
It's already cooked. Yes, thank you. It's already cooked. I'm just reheating it. I'll just throw my beans in there. And then I'm going to throw the vegetables in there. I won't put the tofu in there. That'll be gross. But I just throw like a bunch. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. That kale really cooks down. So I
Yeah.
put a lot of it. And I love the Trader Joe's shredded. I know some people don't like it because it has some stems, but if you get a big stem, you can chunk it out of it. And then the coleslaw, I love that.
Yeah, I always have. Those are two things I always have too. It's so funny. I'm like, what do I have in my fridge? I didn't have the Trader Joe's kale, but I have some kale from the farmer's market. And I always, you and I have talked about this before, always have some cabbage slaw. And, you know, you can buy it at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods already done. I actually happen to have had some from the farmer's market, so I used my mandolin and just made my own. But it's so easy to just buy it, right? So those are two things, two staples. So what you're talking about is, and this is important because, you know, I recently did a PBNSG support group and, you know, it was very popular because it was exactly this. Like, I think people think they need to make some fancy meal or some complicated meal. And all I did, same thing, like a green, a bean, a grain, a starchy vegetable, a sauce, done, right? And what you're demonstrating, and I semi do this, you know, I think for you and I, it's a little easier, like habit now. We can just like cook stuff the day we need it. But like, I definitely batch cook beans. If I always have canned beans. So like, don't be scared. If you don't want to batch cook your beans, have canned beans. And then quick cooking grains, like the farro that I have cooked from the other day, it was 10 minutes to make the quick cooking farro. Or like quinoa, which I can show you, it takes 15 minutes. And let's see. And then having the vegetables, getting the pre-prepped ones is super easy if you don't want to have to do that yourself. Having lots of condiments. You use peanut butter powder for your sauce. Are you making that sauce today?
I made the sauce. I'm going to show you what I made. I'm going to steam this. I'm just going to put this on the stove for a second.
Okay.
Well, first of all, wait, let me show you. I showed you. Look how much greens are in there. And wait till you see they cook all the way down. So you want to make sure you put a lot in there.
So you're basically steaming it down.
Steaming it down. And then everything heats up. And then I don't care if my tofu is hot. I'll throw the tofu and the beef on at the end. And then I have a sauce that I made.
What's in the sauce?
It's pumpkin seeds. I didn't even toast them. Just pumpkin seeds. Usually I put cilantro, but I didn't have cilantro. I put a cup of pumpkin seeds, a cup of water. I put some lemon juice. I put a little garlic, a little maple syrup. What else did I put?
That sounds delicious. I want to point out to people who are watching, if you don't have an air fryer, you could do Lauren's tofu in the oven as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then I have some, and then I had this from Trader Joe's, green.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
I put a bunch of that. I put a bunch of that in the blender, and then I just blended it up. And then you just taste it, and it's either going to need, you know, more garlic or more maple syrup, or maybe some salt, or maybe some more lemon juice. Like, you just have to taste it. And I'm not great. We talk about this all the time, like measuring stuff out. I just throw it in. So that's it for my sauce.
For grains, it's typically 2 to 1, two liquid to 1 grain. With quinoa, you can do a little. I used to do 2. Now I do 1.5 water to 1 cup quinoa. With the farro, it doesn't really matter. You just want to have enough to cook it. If it's not a quick cooking farro, it's going to take longer. But the quick cooking that takes 10 minutes, you just put enough water to cook it, and you're going to drain it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I want to point out too, because when you batch cook quinoa and farro and brown rice and all those things, think about them in other uses too. Like, I'm going to show you, like, I make a super quick oat breakfast, but if I have quinoa or farro or even brown rice, I might mix it in with my oats and make myself a nice little porridge for a change, right?
That's delicious. I love that.
Yeah, or throw it on a salad, right?
Yeah. And then what you were saying about the porridge, Elspeth Feldman, the Speedy Vegan, you probably already did this too, but she told me to like grate cauliflower into my oats and porridge, and it's just
Oh,
another
that's a
way
good
to get a
idea.
vegetable. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that
Well, and
too.
another one that's good to put in your savory or sweet dishes is baby spinach because it doesn't taste like anything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you're having a bowl of oatmeal with cinnamon and maple and raisins and all that, and you're like, oh, I haven't had any, greens, you could chop up the baby spinach and toss it in, and it doesn't really taste like anything. Your oatmeal still tastes the
Yeah.
same, right?
Yeah.
So all these
Always trying
tricks.
to get in some more veggies.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine's pretty much cooked. So that's how long that took to heat that up. That was nothing, right? I'm gonna, I'm just gonna hold this over. Well, let me show you before I cock the lid and drain the water. So you can see it cooked down, but it's all green. I like my greens really bright.
Same
Now I'm
here.
just gonna cock the lid and drain it, and it'll get a little mixed up. But so what? It's all going in the same place.
Well, as long as you're okay with your food touching.
I am more than okay with my food touching.
Well, you're doing
about
that.
you?
I'm gonna cook up some quinoa just because I want everybody to see how easy and how fast it is. It's gonna take like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna do. Let me put this in the bowl so you can see how it's gonna look. This is gonna be my dinner. But I'm just gonna let's see. Now you can see it's all falling together. This is what it looks like. Once you get the water out, then it's all like.
What are you gonna do with that potato? What are you doing with that potato? I know you told me, but I want to know.
I'm gonna make French fries because I might eat French fries once a day. I love French fries. All it is.
French fries are good for you, Lauren. Tell us about that.
Well, if you get them at like McDonald's, or if they're cooked in oil, sorry McDonald's. But if you get them, where they're cooked in a fryer basket, no, they're not good for you. But if you just, all right, let me put this on there.
I have Lauren and I both love potatoes and sweet potatoes, and I just threw some in my air fryer. I would use the oven too, and I cook a lot of potatoes. I have like a bunch of little russets in here and Japanese sweet potatoes because I like to use them throughout the week. Lauren's gonna make her French. Yeah, you're gonna make your French fries from a raw potato, but when I batch cook my potatoes and they get cold, I slice them up and then throw them in the oven or the air fryer, and they also make French fries. So if you have a lot of them left over, you can do that too. Is my point.
They taste better when you do it that way. I like to cook them in advance too because they do once they're cooked and then you air fry them, they taste even better. So you can do them this thick, like a steak fry, or you could cut it in half again if you like a thinner fry. But that's it. That's exactly all you do. I mean, sometimes I put some seasoning.
Well, you could toss some of the green goddess on them before you put them in too.
Yeah. Honestly, I just like them like this. And then when they come out, I use the Benson's Table Taste.
Oh, I love that
I don't
stuff.
like to cook it with that. But anyway, that's it. I just have an air fryer basket. I'm going to put it on now for 15 minutes at 400.
Excellent. I'm going to do my breakfast oats. So my husband David and I we eat this almost every day. Like I like hot oatmeal for sure, but we've just grown to love this dish. And I'm just going to throw some oats in a bowl. And I'm going to throw in some cinnamon. Cinnamon is so good for you, and it makes it very sweet and delicious.
It does really make it sweet. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, and it's good for your blood sugar. It helps to regulate your blood sugar. So I do oats, and then I throw in some raisins. Just a little bit. Raisins are high in iron. They give it the sweetness, and it's a whole food, right?
I forget about it. I have raisins, and I do put in raisins or dates. But sometimes I forget about them.
Any dry fruit. Well, I love goji berries. They can be kind of pricey, but we've got these Asian markets near us, so I get big bags of them for super cheap. But I really love goji berries. But yeah, dried apricots, chopped dates, cranberries. Just instead of refined sugar. Just use some dried fruit, right?
You have to be careful, sometimes with the cranberries, they have oil and weird stuff on them, I've
Yeah.
found. But do you, soak your goji berries? Because sometimes they can be hard.
I like them
No?
chewy in my oatmeal.
Okay.
Yeah, you can soak them if they're dry. And then I put a little bit of chia in, about, half to 1 teaspoonful. Try to get my healthy fats. And then I'm sure you do too, because
That's it, you only put a teaspoon of chia?
Yeah, I don't like a lot of chia. I like my chia pudding separate from my oatmeal. Sometimes I don't even put chia in it.
Okay.
And then Lauren and I always have ground flax in the fridge so we can make flax eggs and stuff. And I put a little of that on my oatmeal. And then what I do is I mix in some frozen berries. So I'm going to put in some frozen berries. I'm going to put in some blueberries and cherries. So another thing that we always have, and I'm just showing this to you because this is what we eat in a day, and my husband consumes massive amounts of this, David. So I don't eat quite as much of. He'll eat this 3 times a day. It's like funny.
Wow.
So I put some frozen blueberries in, and I put in a few frozen cherries, and then I bought, because David, did I tell you this? He eats so many bowls of this that we were going through crazy amounts of like almond and oat milk and stuff. So I bought him a milk machine. So now he has to make his own almond milk.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's great. It's already paid for itself. We got Meomat. Kathy Hester, my good friend Kathy Hester.
Yeah.
She is the queen of the kitchen gadgets. She knows her stuff. So I asked her what she thought the best milk machine was, and she said she really liked her Meomat. So I actually bought it on her website. And yeah, it's super easy. You just put the oats and the water in, and you turn it on, and you walk away, and you come back, and you strain it, and it's done. Because what I do when I want almond milk is I put the almonds in my NutriBullet with water, and I blend it and strain it. But David likes the cooked almond milk. He doesn't like the raw. So the milk machine is good for him.
Maybe I should get that.
I'm telling you, it's like we haven't bought a single carton of milk in ages. That was the idea. So then this is my bowl. Now, if I want this hot, I'll go stick it in the microwave. If you don't have a microwave or don't want to use one, you can stick it in a pan and heat it up. But I just like eat it like this. And oftentimes we'll keep a bowl of frozen blueberries and cherries in the fridge so they're already defrosted. And then I top it for a little crunch with a couple of walnuts. Well, maybe 3 walnuts. And I like a little texture. And then I like these slivered toasted almonds, and I put a little bit of that on. But you could put pecans or, just a little bit for crunch, a little healthy fat. And that's it. Like, we eat this a lot. I eat this almost every day. And the great thing about it is if you're on the run, you can put it in a jar and take it with you with a spoon, and it's ready to go. Okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing there? Tell us what you're doing.
I was just going to say about the oats, like the oatmeal. I used to eat that every morning for breakfast, but like sometimes I just get up and I don't want, and I just want some fruit, and then I wait till like 11 o'clock and I just eat a big lunch. So
yeah.
I know I need to really get my oatmeal in, so if I want a snack or even as a dessert, I eat that as like a dessert or a snack sometimes in the afternoon.
Well, I'm with you. I often don't eat till late. Like this will be my first meal, but sometimes it's oats instead of whatever else we're having. Okay, let's see what you got there.
So this is just a bowl all put together. So there's the little tofu right there, and my beans. I don't know if you can see them.
Yep.
My quinoa, my kidney beans, and all my greens. And usually I'll sprinkle it. I'm not going to put the sauce on now because I don't want to eat this right now and it'll get soggy. But normally I'll put like a little bit of vinegar on my greens. Dr. Esselstyn says that's good for you and it helps keep your endothelial nice and supple.
It also helps you absorb the iron. The vinegar helps you absorb the iron.
Oh, right. Is that right?
Yeah. Citrus or vinegar with dark leafy greens helps with the absorption.
Oh, nice. And
then Lisa and Lauren, you've got some comments coming in.
Oh.
This is Sorry, this is our first.
Oh, I'm sorry,
live.
guys. We
That's
haven't
all
been
right.
watching the comments at all.
Well, that's because it's your first time doing this. So, here we go.
Hi, guys.
Okay. Can you see that? It's a
Yeah,
little small.
it's small.
I can't see it, but okay.
Hi, Mona. Oh, hi, Apple. And Mona. I can't. I'm trying to read it so far away.
Yeah, you know what?
Lydia.
Lise, wear your AirPods. I'm gonna have you wear these. That because Lauren's echoing, and that's because
I don't have my AirPods on.
because you don't have your AirPods on. So.
Okay. So just so you know, I've got my quinoa on the stove.
Ooh, let me see if you can connect to
Okay.
to my laptop.
Okay. We haven't done this in a while. We're like, hey, do you want to cook together on YouTube tomorrow? Yeah. And then we're like, let's see what we have in the fridge. And this is the whole, like, I really love doing this because I'm constantly preaching, and I know you are too, is if you have your staples, your grains, either pre-cooked or ready to go, easy to make, your beans pre-cooked or your canned beans, your greens, your starchy vegetables.
That's all you need.
I mean, just like you always have enough ingredients where you can always throw a healthy and delicious and satisfying meal together, which is why I love doing this. I'm a little all over the place. I was thinking that I might try to make something else, but you've got your French fries going, right?
Yeah. Let me see how many more minutes.
All right, well then I'm going to make a bowl too. So you've got your French fries. I've got my baked potatoes and my baked sweet potatoes. I've got some quinoa cooking. I happen to have some leftover farro. And the other thing is you don't even need an air fryer, but I batch cook chickpeas all the time. You know how much I love chickpeas. Our son calls me Lisa chickpea rice. And so I had made some, so I portioned them out, and they're in the fridge right now because I just cooked them yesterday, and I'm going to put the batch cooked portions in the freezer. Absolutely nothing wrong with canned beans. It's more cost effective to buy them dry to make them yourself if you have the time. But then because I have an air fryer, I tossed some with some Trader Joe's Green Goddess seasoning, or I'll do garlic powder. I might put a little paprika, and then I just put them in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, put them in the oven on parchment paper. You don't need any oil, just the seasonings. And you roast them at 350 for about 10-15 minutes. Toss them a little bit and then roast them for another 10, and then let them cool. And if you let them cool, shut the oven off and let them cool, or the air fryer and let them cool in there. They'll get nice and crispy. And I love to have a lot of these around in a jar because when I have a bowl or a salad or even like a baked potato with some greens, I love the texture, and you're getting all the benefits of having the legume with your meal. Oh, thanks.
So
Cookies on.
yummy and crunchy. It's delicious.
Yeah. So I've got, and then I'm going to, the other day I had some kale and some cabbage like I do now. And I always make the same, I'm not really hearing anything through here.
No one's talking. You're talking.
Oh, no, I mean, okay. Say
Yeah.
something?
Oh, can you hear me?
Okay, great.
Okay, good.
Oh my God, this is crazy. So anyway, so I always make like the kale Caesar salad, or I do my apple kale salad, but I wanted something different. And I had some, do you know Hodo soy? They do the tofu.
Yes. I eat their tofu all the time. I didn't have any, but that's my favorite one.
Well, I don't see it that often where I shop, but I had a shop from my elderly neighbor the other day, and they had the Hodo soy nuggets, the 5-spice. They don't have any oil in them. They're just seasoned and they're already cooked. So I had some in the fridge, and I thought, oh, they're so good. So they're Hodo soy, 5-spice. I think they're just called like tofu nuggets. They've also got curry, and they're all good, but the 5-spice is my favorite. So I basically made a kale salad with like a peanutty dressing, and threw the Hodo soy in with some cooked farro that I had. And David was freaking out over it. It was really good. But I want you to talk about, I'm going to use peanut butter because I don't have to be on a low-fat diet, but because of your heart disease, Lauren overcame heart disease through going whole food plant-based, no oil, strict, low-fat. I don't have a heart issue, so I'm able to have a little bit more fat in my diet. And so I use peanut butter, but Lauren uses peanut powder.
I use peanut butter powder. It's much lower in fat to make like a peanut sauce. or a peanut dressing. I really haven't been making it lately. But you know what I do? I put it in my Ninja Creamy and I make chocolate peanut butter cup ice cream. It's damn good.
That's what you made for me. It was
Yes.
amazing.
It's good, right? And so I use the naked peanut butter powder because it doesn't have any, a lot of like some of the brands have sugar and salt in them, but this doesn't have
Uh-huh.
anything, just the peanuts. But yeah, this is what I use in place of peanut butter. And honestly, even once in a while, if I'm craving a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'll just get like a scoop of this, put a tiny bit of water, mix it up till I have like a thick paste, get my Ezekiel bread and smear it on there and
Wow.
get my
So you make a
jelly
peanut
and
butter out of it?
yeah, I make peanut butter out of it.
Wow. I'm gonna try
I mean,
that.
why not?
Well, because of
Peanut
you,
butter powder.
I got some peanut butter powder, but I actually haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to. Because I do have you. I used it. No, that's not true. I used it when you came to visit. I
Yeah,
made
you
some
did.
peanut dressing for you. That's
You're
right.
like, "Bitch, okay.
Um,
You were
so
like,
I'm gonna
if
make
I use,
So tell me what else you put in it, because I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna use a little peanut butter. I'm gonna use a
well, I
little
can't
vinegar.
remember. I put some, yeah, rice wine vinegar. I think I put garlic, a little bit. Um, I put maple syrup,
A little soy sauce or a little Bragg's.
water,
You
soy
use
sauce,
Bragg's.
or yeah. I use
Okay.
Bragg's. That's what you were bitching about. You were like, I made this for you, but I mean, it's your recipe. I was like, yeah, okay. You kept saying it like it was bad, and then I tasted it. It tasted good to me, but I think we talked about later. You were like, I'm just used to like, I don't know why you don't use tamari or
You know what?
soy sauce.
I at first I was like, this tastes weird because I'm so used to tamari and soy sauce, and I love Bragg's. I've just never had it used like that. And but then I ate your leftover, and I'm like, actually, this is really good. But it's like my brain had to adapt to it
Yeah.
being Bragg's and not soy sauce. But it was really good, and I'm not just saying that.
It was a neural, what was it? Neuroplasty.
Right. I was creating a new neural pathway with Bragg's in my peanut sauce. So I've got some vinegar. I've got some rice vinegar, some peanut butter. I haven't put it in yet. I'm going to put in a little soy sauce. I usually use tamari. I don't know where I put it. A little bit of that. And then I'm going to put in some garlic and ginger. And then what I'm going to do,
ginger.
yeah, I'm going to, well, I have all these great Asian markets near me. And
Yeah.
I just walk out my door. You were here.
I know.
And
Yeah,
they have,
I was there.
yep, they have everything. So I'm going to put a little ginger in here and a little garlic. And then what I'm going to do is, I don't have the bag of kale that you have, but I do have the kale that I washed. And I'm going to just, the secret to really getting the kale salad, I think, a nice texture to eat raw is to slice it thin, kind of like it is in the bag.
Yeah.
I took it off the stem. They don't do that in the bag, and you're right. Some people don't like it like that. I don't mind it because it gives it a little
doesn't
extra
bother
crunch,
me.
right?
Yeah.
So I put some ginger in here, and of course I'm going to put a little maple syrup in it because our peanut sauce needs to have a little bit of sweet, so it's sweet and savory, right?
Yeah.
Did
And then
you
I want to show you.
did you get your French fries?
They're still going. They're almost finished.
Kathy Hester's here in the house.
Hi,
Kathy Hester in the
Kathy.
house.
Oh, my
Kathy.
French fries are. Hi, Kathy.
Kathy is
Okay, I wanted to show you
my
this.
inspiration.
She's the. Hi, Kathy. Chef AJ told me about this. It's from Trader Joe's. In case you don't have an Asian market, the ginger.
Oh, I thought,
it's
you know what I
free-
thought that was? I thought it was gochujang. It's ginger.
No, it's ginger in these tiny little individual cups.
Oh, that's
And-
great.
And so, I always have fresh ginger, but apparently I've used this. It's kind of getting freezer burned. It's probably going to go bad before I use it all. 'Cause I
So do
have
you
fresh.
you keep it in the freezer and then you defrost it as you need it?
Yeah, you just pop one out and it'll be like, you can just pop it into as you're cooking something and it defrosts. So it's good if you don't have the time to grate the ginger or whatever. It's in the frozen section at Trader Joe's. It's nothing but ginger in the ingredients.
That's great. I'm going to get that. Because, the thing with ginger is it does go bad in the fridge. You can freeze it, though. I have some ginger in the freezer, and it defrosts pretty quickly. So put your fresh ginger in a baggie in your freezer.
Oh.
also. But you still have to grate it and everything. That's nice because it's already
Yeah,
grated.
yeah, yeah. But you don't peel it. I just saw you didn't peel that?
You know why? I usually will peel a little off before I grate it, but I don't know if you could see this one. This one from the Asian market is super thin skin, so I didn't
Oh, I
bother. But
see.
if it's like this
Oh,
side
that's
is thicker, I
beautiful.
would peel it.
Yeah.
I know, that's gigantic,
Okay.
right?
It's
Um,
huge.
So I just put some peanut butter, some rice vinegar. I put a little soy sauce, and I put some maple syrup, ginger and garlic in here. And then I'm gonna toss in my kale. Wait, watch that. Like someone's waiting at my feet. Can you see this? Come here. She hears me stripping the kale. Can you see?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
She hears
Oh,
me stripping the
Luna.
kale, and she comes running into the kitchen. And I tell everyone these are cheap natural greenies for their teeth.
Oh my God.
You you got to give those
Oh,
to Daisy.
that's so smart. Yes. Oh my God, that's so smart.
I know.
Okay,
It's
here's
so
my
funny. She
French
hears.
fries.
Oh, those look so good.
And then look, I just put the Benson's Table Tasty. That's the real deal. That really tastes like salt.
I've
Benson's
tried
Table
to
Tasty.
find that. Do I have to order it online? Because you gave me
yeah,
a
you have
little.
to order
Remember, you
it.
gave me a little baggie of it. It was so
Uh-huh.
good.
Did you go home on the plane with a baggie of something that they were like, "What is this, lady?"
I did. I didn't get busted.
And then I use Primal Kitchen. Doesn't have sugar in it. Ketchup, and that's it. And I eat that with the salad. Look, I keep, I wash like a big head of lettuce, or you could get bagged lettuce or whatever. But I always have that going on because I like a head of lettuce rather than the bagged usually. But whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I never eat it. With
Yeah.
French fries, that's such a good meal. French fries are a meal. Anyway,
They are.
well,
I
I mean,
agree.
not a meal, with salad. And I put
So,
beans in the salad or chickpeas.
I just want to point
look
out
at
that
you.
I'm slicing my kale really thin, like I'm slicing it thin. So I'm bunching it up here. I don't know if you can see. I'm kind of
Yes.
bunching it up, and I'm slicing it thin so that when I toss it, it'll absorb the dressing a little more, and I can massage it so that it's not so tough. I don't mind that, but sometimes you just want it to be a little softer. So especially if you're making it for guests. So I threw in some kale right on top of my dressing, and then I've got my bagged slaw mix here, so I'm going to throw a little bit of that in.
Oh, yum.
And then, you know what I really love with kale salad is apple. So
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a little apple in. So I'm going to use my hand because you can get the dressing sort of more worked into it with your hand. Just give it a
I
little
can't
massage.
believe you put that on top of the dressing, so you knew how much
I
kale
just
you were going
put,
to put in there or whatever. You
well, I
eyeballed
have
it?
more, and I'm like, if it's too much, I'll add a little more kale.
Okay.
I mean, you could make the dressing on the side and have it. I recommend making a jar
Look
of
at
it.
me.
I know. I
Look at
recommend
how I do.
making a jar of it and having the dressing, but I didn't
Yeah.
have it, so I'm just showing you. I have the ingredients. If you have the ingredients, you can just make it when you need it. That's the point, you know? Okay,
Yeah.
so then the other thing I was going to do, so I have an apple. So I'm going to go ahead and slice up some apple. And I always like a little crunch, so I'll put like some nut or seed in as a garnish.
What will you put? Pumpkin or
Um,
walnut?
You know what? I really love the sliced toasted almonds. So I'll put a
Yeah,
little
I
of
was
those
gonna
for
say.
crunch since it's sort of an Asian-y one. Asian-y
Uh-huh.
salad. So I put my apple in. And then, you know what? I have those chickpeas. I'm going to throw those in.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yum.
So and you know what? If you just have a can and you're like, oh, I didn't make any air fried chickpeas, drain them and throw some in. Or some, what did you have? You had kidney beans, right?
Yeah, but I always have chickpeas too. I mean, these aren't seasoned, but I always have some canned or I make up a batch, but I always have
Yeah.
them. I should probably, they're my favorite.
I feel like
I
I'm
make
forgetting
dressing,
something here.
salad dressing out of it,
Oh yeah, I'm going to put in
salad
some
dressing
almond.
out of that.
And then
That needs some furikake.
some furikake. Oh, I love the furikake. I have some furikake.
Put that in their salad.
Hang on.
Yeah, next time you come, you got to bring me from that store.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't get, and even online, I can't get that flavor. I loved it.
Kathy Hester posted the funniest thing the other day. It was like white
Oh, I
people's
saw that.
furikake, and it was everything bagel seasoning.
Kathy, I saw that. That was hilarious.
So this is the Trader Joe's furikake. But the thing is, if you're on a low sodium diet, this has salt in it. So you want to look for it. Although the salt is toward the end of the ingredients, it's got kelp powder in it, so it's going to be a little fishy tasting. You can also just get.
But that's good for a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
To have
Or
a
you could
little
just get
fish
toasted black or white sesame seeds.
Uh-huh.
And then make your own with some nori. But I'm going to put some furikake on here. Because this is, again, I'm going for Asian since those are the seasonings I've taken out today. So now I have to decide. Because now I've got my cooked farro and my cooked quinoa. The quinoa, I think I'm going to save it for dinner. And I'm going to put some of my cooked farro in here. Because that's what I put in it the other day.
Yeah. That's good, Lisa. I wish I could come over for dinner.
I wish that we could eat together right now. And then I'm going to have a sweet potato.
Yeah.
And you're going to have French fries. And that's my meal. And you know, I also wanted to really quickly show you.
That's a great meal.
Yes, if you have an air fryer, the tofu comes out so good in the air fryer, right? It comes out nice and chewy, and it gives it a really meaty texture. But I just wanted to show you quickly that there have been times where I always keep tofu in the fridge, always. And hopefully I'm not out of gas here. Well, let me get another can. But anyway, I really love, and we're turning into like an ad for Trader Joe's here, but I love these containers at Trader Joe's, right? Because you can just use half,
crowded one,
right? And you don't have to, like, if you just want a little, you can use a little and still have half. I got to get a monitor set up.
Trader Joe's.
I'm trying to look at my comments. Love Lauren's way of making fries, Mona says. Yes.
Thanks, Mona.
And Kathy
Is that your
says,
house?
I don't know, it's a package probably.
It's probably a package of food. Furikake.
Oh, Kathy says she likes to have the dressing mixed with the salad. That way the dressing is evenly on everything.
Yeah.
Apple says, take a wheatgrass shot every time Lisa says apple. I love that. But just quickly before we go, because we were just doing a quick one today, is I just want to show you a really super easy way to do your tofu.
And in the meantime, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to a friend's house tonight. They're all getting takeout. I'm going to bring my bowl because I'm sure I can't eat it. But she told me she's having salsa and fruit. So I made my baked organic corn tortillas in the oven. I just threw them in there on the rack at 375 for 12 minutes. Just depends on the thickness and depends on your oven. But so I'll have that. I can eat when everybody else is eating their salsa.
Talk about that a little more because, Lauren and I loved our baked corn tortillas, like for a snack, but also to sneak into a Mexican restaurant so we don't have to don't get tempted by the fried chips, which I don't even like the way they taste anymore. But Lauren is so cute because she has like a purse full of food wherever she goes.
I have a purse full of food. Here's my little chip bag. It just has Velcro on it. It has pears on it. Needs chips on it. But I'll just put a couple of these in and, I call it my purse food. So if I'm going to a Mexican restaurant, I might bring 4 of these because, I don't want to be tempted. You never know what's going to happen. Better to eat 4 baked tortillas than whatever. But I'm just going to take 2 tonight because
they come out so good though. When you dip them in salsa and stuff, you don't even notice the difference. They're crunchy.
They really are crunchy. So this is, what's the brand?
I'm going to slice up my tofu. So I just want to show you this really quick. if you don't have an air fryer or you don't feel like dealing with the air fryer and you just want a quick, super simple tofu, heat your nonstick skillet. Can you see this?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So heat your nonstick skillet. Get it nice and hot. And then I sliced up my tofu, just throw it in there. And we're just gonna, there's no oil or anything in here.
You don't even marinate it.
No, watch.
You don't put
You'll
anything
see.
on it.
You shall see. Okay, so we're just gonna let that get golden. And I have my heat up pretty high. You're not gonna burn it because the tofu has a lot of water in it. Maybe you'll burn it, but I don't think so. That's the great thing. Yeah. So again, if you have an air fryer, you have time to do it in the oven, but sometimes when I'm just in a hurry, like I'll make a noodle dish. I'll make some buckwheat soba noodles and I'll put a little tamari in them, a little ginger, garlic, whatever. Or like last night, my tummy was a little funny and it was cold, so I made like a quick little ramen, and I did this because I didn't have any pre-prepared tofu. So we're gonna let it get golden, and then you could either use Bragg's or soy sauce or tamari. I've actually got my Bragg's in here for our popcorn that we make. And I'm gonna spritz it with the Bragg's and put a tiny bit of sweetener on it. I'll probably put a little bit of maple syrup. And then I'm gonna just throw some sesame seeds on it. Sometimes I don't even do that. And it's delicious. So it's just like a quick cooked tofu.
So that's even easier than mixing up the marinade and then, tossing it in there.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too,
right?
But this is just like if you're like, you know what, I just want to have some tofu, gonna make it easy, I don't feel like making a marinade. See, it's already golden. It hasn't even been in here that long. It's just the hot pan is making it golden. And now I'm just gonna spritz it with some Bragg's. Bragg's in honor of Lauren and her weird peanut sauce that I've grown to love. And then I'm gonna, here, let me get a little, I usually use, oh wait, I think I do have a squeeze bottle actually, hang on.
Luna is on high alert.
Well, because
Just in case you drop anything.
She gets the apple cores, like I'll take the core and I'll cut it in 3, so the middle part with the seeds, I put that in the compost and I give her the other ends. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of maple syrup on here. I usually have this in a squeeze bottle. I don't know what I did with it. So it's just got a little Bragg's, a little maple syrup. You could use agave, you could use date syrup, you could use soy sauce, tamari, but basically just giving it a little quick seasoning in the pan and it's pretty much done. You're just gonna cook it for a couple of minutes on one side. I'm gonna toss it again. And it sort of caramelizes, but it's like so easy.
I've never done it that way.
It's so good. Yeah, and then you can like taste one if you want to put a little more seasoning. I'm going to put a few sesame seeds on it because I have them, but you don't need to. And that's it. And I'm going to have that with my salad. I'm going to throw it right in my salad.
Ooh, that's good. That's a damn good salad. I like that salad.
Yeah, that's it.
Look at you.
Okay, so Lauren made her home base and super simple French fries. I made my
I would eat with a salad.
And I made my quick oats with my chia and my flax and my frozen berries, my dried fruit, my nuts and seeds, and my almond milk using the Mio mat we got from Kathy Hester. So if you're thinking about buying a milk machine, it's worked really well for us. And then I've got my potatoes and my sweet potatoes. So that's lunch and that's breakfast, that's lunch. Lunch is also dinner. Yours is also lunch or dinner. And that's today's episode. Yeah. Next time we can make like pasta or something.
No, sponsored by Trader Joe's.
I'm having trouble seeing the monitor. Okay, let me just see the comments. Extra firm, high protein. Yes, totally. Kathy says she loves that tofu, though the extra firm, high protein is fine. No pressing. That's true. It's
Is she talking about the Hodo?
No. I think she's talking about Trader Joe's. You know, Trader Joe's has in their section where they have the tofu, they have the sprouted tofu, which is like 2 pieces in one container.
Right.
And then they've got their regular firm tofu, and then they've got the high protein tofu that's in like a soft pack. And it's
that's like the hodo.
It
it's
is
just
similar. The
really-
hodo tends to be not have a lot of water in it, right?
Right, you just can just like wipe it with a paper towel and slice it. It's ready to go.
Well, and the thing is, the
easy.
way I did this, actually, you don't have to, like, I squeezed it in the towel a little bit, but actually having it not super dry is good because we're not using oil and we're just doing a quick sear. So having the water in it is actually okay. And it's yummy. It's like,
Yum.
so anyway, I just wanted to offer that up because I do that a lot when I haven't planned ahead. So thank you for hanging out with me today.
It's been a fun day. Yeah, and you guys don't forget to listen to our podcast, Age Like a Badass Mother, wherever you get your podcasts. Our first episode, we interviewed Jane and Ann Esselstyn, and it was hysterical.
It was so fun.
And
they offer up. Good.
They just offer up so much good information that everybody knows
do.
That.
I mean,
but they're hilarious.
I learned so much. Jane is such a great teacher, and she just simplifies everything. She's so good at it. Mm-hmm. Then we have Dr. Lona Polday, of course, who's one of my mentors. We have Dr. Michael Clapper we interviewed. We're interviewing Dr. Michael Greger. Nancy Wilson, the guitar player from Heart. Today we had a really great interview with an author and newscaster, Loriana Hernandez, talking about her cancer journey and her what she calls prehab, which is going to be a really great episode because it's very much in alignment with what we're all doing, living healthfully. And she talks about how that impacts you if you find yourself in a situation with cancer or some life-threatening illness. Being healthy to start with is really going to serve you in those circumstances. So that episode is coming. Who else? We've got lots of great guests.
We have lots of great guests, but the only ones I think are up are just Dr. Alona Poolday and Jane and Ann Esselstyn for right now, but we'll be releasing one a week.
A week, yeah. So
with our fabulous producer, David Rice.
Yes. He's got a mouthful. He's eating the salad. This is kind of in honor of him.
Paid.
Well, it was one of those things. It was the other day I was like so hungry and I was like, what have I got? What can I throw together? So I threw it together and I ate some and I left it on the counter and then I had to run out and he started texting me. He's like, this salad is fantastic. I'm like, oh, I hope I can repeat that again. And I did just now.
Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for
thank you, everyone. This is just a short live the podcast is called Age Like a Badass Mother. And it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify, Pocket Casts. And then one
Anywhere
last
you
thing.
Get your podcasts.
Yeah, and if you happen to be on our socials and see it, hopefully we've pitched a panel to the Vegan Women's Summit in May in Hollywood, California, which is the topic is Age Like a Badass Mother. So if you happen to see it on socials, click on it, vote for us, because we're hoping we get to do the panel.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And and subscribe to our podcast, please. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys. Mwah.
Goodbye,
Bye, guys.
my sister. Thank you for coming, everyone. We'll see you soon.